AskReddit. What is the worst thing to do on a first date? Browse through dating apps on your phone throughout the date. That's a power move right there. Look, there are a lot of potential candidates for this position. What can you offer that they don't have? Bust out the old resume and conduct a dating interview. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Inside of you. Now, that is some smooth talk. Girl, the weather is nice. Me, thanks. Claiming to be the divine on the first date. That's hardcore. The correct reply for that one is, you're welcome. Forgot a name. You can always recheck on Tinder. I had to do that once, she noticed. I farted on her porch and her mom laughed so hard she called her sister to come over to meet me. This says worst things to do, not best. Propose. My wife knows a couple, they'd known each other for years, but never dated. One day they are riding a ferry, and out of the blue, he says to her, "Who's your perfect guy?" She said, "You." They had their first date a few days later. He proposed. She accepted. They're married like 30 years now. Merging it with lunch with parents. Several years ago I met a guy at an outdoor bar. We hit it off, so I agreed to go on a date with him the following Saturday. Because I wasn't sure if I wanted this guy to know where I lived, I had him pick me up at the same outdoor bar. As we were taking a taxi to the restaurant, he informed me that his father was meeting us for dinner. We show up to the restaurant and his dad walks in shortly after we do, and immediately notices me standing there with his son, and looks super pissed. Following his dad was dude's stepmother, half-sister, and cousin. So I got to have family dinner with all of them on our first and last date. His family was lovely and his dad eventually warmed up to me, I think after realizing that I hadn't planned on being in the middle of this situation. To make matters worse, I later found out that my date was married and had a baby, and this probably further explained the father's cold attitude. I know this guy, we'll call him Mark. He took this girl out on a date to a sushi place, and she had amazingly never had wasabi. He convinced her it was like a room temperature dessert, some kind of green tea flavored sweet or something. So she ate it all in one bite. Against all odds, they're still dating. Nice job, Mark. True MVP. Be really charming. Make all the right jokes, observations, and gestures. Make direct eye contact. Be super friendly, but not flirty, with your server. Just enough to make your date say, "Wow, my date is so cool with strangers." Then, when the food comes, eat with your hands. Sloppily. Burp loudly. Don't look up from your meal. Snort and snarl a little. From time to time, grab food from your date's plate and right as you're about to touch it say, "Can I try yours?" Don't wait for a reply. Just shove it into your mouth, and before you're able to even chew, put more food in your mouth. If you can, fart. Then at the end, insist on paying, because that's what a good gentleman/lady/date does. For an added bonus, add "Don't worry, you can pay next time." Show up with your wife. I once had a guy show up with his friend. Now sure, meeting someone from online can be a bit awkward and you might feel safer with a friend. Just be sure the friend wants to be there. He was miserable. I tried to make conversation to be polite, but it was just awful. The three of us leave after a while and I think that's that. Fast forward a little, and I find out why he might have been upset about me being there. The two of them are now a couple and gone on holiday together where every picture they took were of themselves all over each other. So yeah, maybe don't bring someone who wants you to themselves on a date. The worst date I've ever been on was with a guy who immediately started showing me all the topless pics and skirt up shots of women he took while in New Orleans. Then he proceeded to talk about rape. So yay, don't show naked pics of strangers and talk about rape. If you don't agree on something, ask how you will raise the kids. Then you could start negotiating about how you would divide assets during the divorce, but that could be misconstrued as playful banter. Stick to your guns. Let her know it's not a joke. You need to get to the bottom of this issue if there's any hope for this relationship, which is currently only 20 minutes old. If she genuinely acquiesces, ask her if it's because she's weak-minded or weak-willed, because it's just as disconcerting as her wanting to put beans in chili, let alone call it chili after the fact that she has put beans in it. You can make chili without beans? Of course not, LMAO. Show up completely drunk. This has happened to me multiple times. The thing is, I usually have a shot before a first date to calm my nerves, and each one of these guys have tried to pass off being hammered beyond belief as just had a little something before our date, because I was nervous to meet you. Dudes, I can tell the difference between someone who had 1 or 2 drinks and someone who has been slamming booze for hours. Particularly if the bartender cuts you off after your first round. So my boyfriend and I were friends for a couple years before we officially got together. We had countless nights where we spent hours talking at the bar. That could definitely be considered first dates, but when we actually got together we decided to get fancy and have an official first date. He was super nervous because OMG, it's happening for real. I'm taking her out to dinner. In no particular order. He checked his phone. Didn't hold the door for me. Spit tomato on me. Spilled his drink on his shoes. Tripped and fell on the sidewalk and ripped his pants. Still one of the best dates I've ever had in my life. And every date we go on now I tease him about ruining it. I have a story for this. I met a girl at a dance club back in the day. This was before Facebook and such, so the thing to do was just exchange home phone numbers and plan to meet again, or chat over the phone. Well, we exchanged our numbers, spoke to each other over the phone, and planned a date. We were going to a restaurant on the main road of town. It was kind of known as the place to go on dates. Although over the phone she told me she knew the restaurant owner's daughter from school and told me she had been quite mean to her during school and that she refuses to support their business. I suggest other locations and asked for suggestions, but she insisted on going there still. I just go ahead with it at that point and set a time to go. I go to pick her up on the night, and after she hop into the car she informs me she called the restaurant and told them she had a strict diet she had to follow given to her by her doctor, but wanted to go there for dinner with someone. They allowed her to bring a meal she prepared to eat while at the restaurant. I reacted unfazed and chill with it to seem cool. We eventually get to the restaurant and my meal is on its way, so she pulls hers out of a little lunchbox bag. Out this strange creator pulls a dish, on it being a can of tuna, a slice of bread, coleslaw, salad with a boiled egg. For dessert she treated herself with a half a pocket's worth of biscuits from the packet, meaning the long crinkly really loud, whenever you touch it packs. Definitely memorable. I'm confused. Which part of this am I not supposed to do? Yes. Well, I'm black and the first thing she said was pick me up at the driveway, my parents are a tad racist. She then proceeded to tell me she had Nazi blood and had a family crest. So yeah, I'm thinking we'll have a full wedding. Edit, I should mention that she seemed a little proud of the whole Nazi blood thing. She didn't at all seem burdened by it, haha. Ask her to move in. Go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and stuff yourself to the point where you can barely function afterwards. Poop, that sounds like something I'd do. I'd do that, whether it's a date or not. Gotta load up on the money meats. That buffet will not profit from me. He is right, every day is bulk day, my dudes. Only talk about yourself. You have to listen and ask questions about the other person's life and they should reciprocate that to you. Also, going on your phone talking about your ex is the worst. I just came out of a relationship, so this is a bit new for me. That's okay. How do you like your dish? Yeah, we broke up 1 week ago. Oh okay, that's recent. What's your favorite move? That B cheated on me with my best friend. I hope she dies. I used to watch Pulp Fiction with her. It was great. Can we watch it tonight? I would definitely ditch this date, smiley face.